Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me today as we discuss the recent allegations of fraud at AutoFix Inc. and the steps we will be taking to address these serious concerns. In next 10 minutes, I will provide an overview of the case and discuss my planned investigation. First of all, let's look at the background of the case. AutoFix Inc., a global medical devices firm, is currently facing allegations of bribery and corruption within its subsidiary in Texas and Florida. According to Whiteblow, uh, the, these allegations not only raise legal and ethical concerns, but also have the potential to severely damage other fixed reputations and financial standing. To address these allegations, we'll be conducting a comprehensive investigation to into the fraudulent activities at AutoFix. The types of fraud occurred in this case includes bribery and the kickback to doctor and the fraudulent statements. First of all, according to Westblow reports, employees in the Texan subsidiary have been accused of bribing officials at IMSS, a government-owned medical service provider, to win tenders. And then, according to Westblow reports, AutoFix's Florida distributor had offered improper incentives to government-employed doctors and surgeons, including cash rebates, lavish gifts, and extravagant vacations. Finally, the employees are alleged to have engaged in the falsification of records to cover up their bribery schemes. This can include in creating fake receipts for imaginary expenses, obtaining cash for briberies through cash advances to themselves, and disguising the bribes as marketing or promotional expenses. In next part, look, I will introduce my investigation plan in detail. The overview of my investigation plan it was initiated following a voicemail from Felix Stanton, General Counsel at AutoFix Inc., who informed us of white-blow reports from executives at the company's subsidiaries in Texas and Florida. The allegations involve bribery schemes, improper incentives offered to government-employed medical professions, and the potential falsification of records to cover up these activities. The scope and purpose of my investigation plan includes three parts. Part 1, alleged bribery and corruption within the Texas subsidiary involving payments to MSS officials. Part 2, alleged kickbacks and improper incentives offered by the Florida distributed to government-employed doctors and surgeons. Part 3, examination of the company's internal controls, compliance programs, and financial records to the alleged of fraudulent statement. The time frame of my investigation plan lasts for about 12 weeks. From week 1 to week 3, I need to check whether a tender process was followed. I should perform the following information gathering tasks. Task 1, review procurement records and documents. Task 2, analyze binding documents like reviewing submitted by proposals and evaluation criteria to ensure they align with the tender requirements. Task 3, confirm tender process adherence. Task 4, interview with relevant personals. And task 5. Task 6, investigate the selection process. And the outcome should be inquired to any process of tenders related to the IMSS. From week 4 to week 6, and the jobs is to check whether there was improper contact between managers and the IMSS officers. I would need to perform the following information gathering tasks. It includes reviewing communication records like emails, text messages, phone call logs, and any other forms of communications between managers and IMSS officers. It includes analyzing expense reports and financial transactions to look for unusual patterns or differences in expense reports, travel expenses, or other financial transactions. Then I need to conduct interviews with employees, managers, and IM officers. I need to review contract awards and procurement process, examine social media and professional networking platforms. Finally, check for conflicts of interest. I need to review any potential conflicts of interest that might exist between managers and IMSS officers, such as shared business interests, personal relationships, or financial ties that could have influenced their professional dealings. The analyze and outcome from week 4 to week 6 is to inquire to show any process of tenders related to IMSS. From week 7 to week 9, I need to check whether there were falsified receipts for imaginary expenses. The information gathering task includes reviewing financial records and documents, conducting a detailed transaction analysis, cross-reference expenses with company expenses, company activities, and interviewing relevant employees. The the outcome of my job during this period is to inquire to check where all expanding goals and is justified. From week 10 to week 11, I need to check whether there were kickbacks provided to doctors. The information gathering task includes step 1, review contracts and agreements. Step 2, analyze financial records. Step 3, examine marketing and promotional expenses. Step Step 4, investigate gifts, travel, and instrument expenses. Step 5, review procurement and sales process. The outcome of the job during this period is to inquire to show any process of tenders related to IMSS. If I am eventually requested to investigate the fraud at AutoFix, there are several aspects that I would consider prior to accepting the engagement. First of all, scope of the investigation. It is crucial to understand the extent and depth of the investigation required. Secondly, independence and objective, ensuring that I, as the investigator, should have no personal or professional conflicts of interest with AutoFix. Finally, thirdly, access to information and results. I will need to determine if I will have full access to all necessary document data and personnel within the company. Finally, legal and regulatory requirements, understanding the applicable laws and regulations governing the alleged fraudulent activities. At the same time, there were several risks associated with undertaking the investigation of the alleged fraud at AutoFix. These risks include reputation risks if the investigation findings are unfavorable or reveal serious misconduct within AutoFix. It could negatively impact the company's reputations. Secondly, legal and regulatory risks. Investigation potential violations of laws and regulations carries the risk of uncovering evidence that may lead to legal or regulatory actions against AutoFix. Thirdly, confidentiality risk. The investigation may require accessing sensitive company information and interviewing employees who may be reluctant to share information for fear of retaliation. Finally, conflict of interest. There is a risk that personal or professional relations between the investigator that the company or its employees could compromise the objective and independent, independence of the investigation. It is crucial to identify the manager and potential conflicts of interest before accepting the engagement. Oh, thank you everyone to listen to my investigation plan.